magic and how we all connect through magic. Stay tuned for this one, everyone. Welcome, everyone, to your little castle show here. We're on ABC 3 times a week, not 5, not 2, but 3. See how I did there? Show the rings. 3 times a week, where we have experts from our community sharing some of their inside secrets, a little bit how they made it, what they do to be successful, and how they've helped impact our community. And in studio here for another half an hour, Chris Barker. Let me put this up here on the. There it is. Barker Magic STL. And Chris has been doing this for 20 years now, and has really developed an affinity. You've got a school too. You train kids how to do this too.
Yeah, I'm training not just the next generation. I'm even training some of older generations as well how to do magic. So I have a magic academy that I run in the summers called the Young Wizards Magic Academy. Last year was the first year, and I'm going to do it again this year. Kids learn all kinds of tricks and things like that, but again, it's that performance piece. They learn how to actually perform the magic as well. They culminate with a presentation for the families, which is really fun. But then I also offer, during the year, different classes. So the Link Auditorium in Central West End, historic theater, beautiful theater, designed by Theodore Link of Union Station fame. That's where I actually teach my beginner card classes. So starting January, I've got another round of beginner card classes coming up. So I tell my students, you get to learn magic from center stage, an old theater, an old auditorium, and I share all my secrets, and I've basically developed a curriculum. There's a virtual manual, so they get access to private videos where they can go back and keep practicing. They get all the resources to learn how to blow people's minds. So have a good time with it.
Something that can be done with magic. Pretty cool. When you say curriculum, you're serious. My mom would say you got to have an outline, you got to have everything detailed, give it an agenda and a list of what they're going to learn, and you've got this all outlined for people, and they can come to your class. And they pay to go to the class? Is this some?
Yes, there is a registration fee. It is for 6 classes. It's $300.
Okay.
So, and that includes, like I said, all the materials. It includes the extra resources. It of course includes the space, and those 6 classes. It also, I say they become part of the Barker Magic family, because then when I find things or come across things, they can reach out at any point if they're struggling with something, if they need a little bit of extra help there. I always try to kind of make sure, because at the end of the day, I want them to be confident to perform the stuff that I'm sharing. And I want them to also perform things that I perform. So there's some magicians who will teach things or show things that they're never going to perform. These are actually things that I will perform in my regular daily shows. So they're learning professional secrets that they can start doing with family.
That's
and
a
friends.
great value. Yeah, that's $50 a class. I mean, that's
exactly right.
I was expected to be $100 a class, 12 classes, 12 weeks, whatever.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's pretty awesome. So, and then they're going to come out of there and they're going to know how to do actual magic.
They will know. They'll have under their belt. They basically have about a 20 to 30 minute routine with cards that they can do.
Wow. Okay. Yeah. That's how long is the average routine? That's like a full routine.
That's like a full routine. Yeah. Now, to be fair, it's they're gonna have to kind of fill in a lot of gaps to that routine. And that's the instruction that I tell them is pause, talk to people, get to know people when you're performing. It's not just the performing tricks, and I want to keep reiterating that. It is a life skill on how to engage with other people, which is really important to me. So.
Yeah, and how do we connect? And,
exactly.
So in communication and magic and all of the resources we have there. Well, tell me, what is one of the biggest challenges that a new magician might have when they're starting to learn the trade here a little bit?
Yeah, one, inundation. They might feel like, excuse me, there's too much out there. So where do I start? Where do I begin? My rule of thumb, always start with a deck of cards. Not everyone likes card magic. Even there are a lot of magicians who don't like card magic. But I do think that the cards are so ubiquitous. You can go to a dinner party and your friends could be sitting and say, hey, anyone want to play cards? And my students can take that deck of cards and start to perform amazing tricks with cards right there at that dinner table. So I always think that that's the important thing, is don't get inundated. It's challenging to say, okay, I'm going to get serious and get into it. The other thing is I'll have people hire me and say, well, I want to learn not a Copperfield illusion, but something that's way beyond their grasp at this point. I'm just like, we got to have realistic expectations.
Baby steps, yeah.
Yeah, baby steps. And the problem with a lot of, you were talking about scrolling, you can scroll through and a lot of the reels and stuff will have people doing incredible things. They have the benefit of they're on camera, they can go off camera for a second, they can do X, Y, Z, edit it. So I think that retaining that kind of, like I said, realistic expectation of you do it live, there's a lot of pressure coming down. So,
Yeah.
and it's good. It's good pressure. It's fun.
Yeah,
So,
well, you're helping people then to develop a lot of skills for life too. About how do you
Yes.
be in front of an audience and how do you handle pressure. I mean, I think that baseball gave me those skills. You might learn similar, but you're on a spotlight. Everybody's looking at you. Here's a bases are loaded. Here comes
Right.
a 3-2 pitch, 2 outs. Bottom of the 7th. What are you going to do? But yeah, this gives a lot of insight for kids to learn and kind of stay on path to develop a skill that will help them to develop as a. So you'll do these shows for businesses or for residentials. Come to some Bobby's birthday party, but you'll also go to big corporate events. Tell me a little bit of both. What do you enjoy about these?
Yeah. So first, I mean, I've done shows 4-year-old all the way up to 94-year-old. So I'm everything in between. I'll do kids. I'll do adults. Small house parties and big corporate events. And so the bigger corporate events, of course, it's a lot of the walking around and you got the company there, you're talking to people. And I cater to those events as well, try to personalize things. Private house parties is kind of what I love the most, just because there's something really interesting about getting invited into a space that is a person's home, and
Right.
then all of a sudden sitting there and doing magic for them and realizing like, actually they just paid me to walk into their house, set up my lights. I have a whole setup. I do lights, I do my table, and perform magic. And they can get their phones out and film and send it to their family, to their friends. It's your own private theater show right in your living room. So it's a good time.
Yeah, I can imagine. You're performing inside somebody's home, but yeah, bring your setup, bring your stage,
Yeah.
and get to it and entertain and get that reaction. Is the response you get from people, is that what you really enjoy about what you do?
I love it. I love getting that response. I think, but again, it's the response, and it's less about me. There's a lot of times where actually they're wanting to film, and I'll do something, and I'll step off because I want them to have that moment there. If someone's helping me with a trick, it's that moment where it's like, you guys are the ones sometimes doing the magic, which is incredible to share that and yeah, seeing those smiles and hearing those laughs and stuff. I mean, how could I not love it?
Exactly. Born and raised here in St. Louis, St.
Yep.
Louis market. What do you enjoy about working in St. Louis? And do you travel too? Tell me a little bit about
Yeah.
St. Louis.
So first of all, St. Louis. I mean, I'm born and raised Tower Grove, South City area, and I have an affinity for that place that is really deep. My parents are still there, and I think it's just a beautiful part of the city. But I've also, with the magic, gotten to explore and see other parts of St. Louis. I love the St. Louis market because St. Louis, it's that where you went to high school market, right? It's
Right.
Oh, I know that place, and people start talking, and if someone tells me, well, I'm from South City, I'll be like, well, 100 block, like, right? Like, okay, Portis, 100 block. And so we get those fun kind of small world connections and conversations, and it's a beautiful thing. I have been doing stuff outside of St. Louis, so Herman, Missouri, St. Genevieve, and I'm going up to Chicago actually as well here in a few weeks. So
Yeah, big market up there, Chicago. It's
there's a big magic market for sure.
Is
Yeah.
it really? Okay. Well, very interesting. Very cool too. Tell me the time when you feel like you really helped somebody that might have been at a difficult place in their life, and you just kind of helped to enlighten their day. You told us a story about the son or his father had dementia.
Yeah.
You got some other stories like that where you really get to help people
Yeah,
deal with life.
I do. One of my students who was a teenager actually was going through a lot of mental health issues, and I was not privy to it. I didn't know about it, but the mom actually texted me and said, he didn't show up for classes one day, and so I was concerned. I sent a text, what's going on? She sent me a text back that he doesn't talk about it much, and he's kind of embarrassed, but he suffers from depression and things like that. Long story short, he showed up for that class on the second half because he really wanted to be there and he really wanted to learn more magic. And then I got a text from that mom later that they were on vacation and he was performing magic. And her words, no less than 50 people have asked him to perform tricks. He was at a restaurant, I guess he pulled out a deck of cards. And I just think about that, right? You take someone who's probably suffering from a lot of social anxiety and serious mental health issues, who then can now have an avenue to open up conversation and gain that confidence. There's nothing better. I mean, adults are nice to kids. With me, they're like, hey, you messed up. Like, again, what's wrong with you? But, they'll, even if a kid messes up, I've seen my students perform for adults, and the adults are so kind and patient with them, and they get that confidence. But there's no participation trophies either. It's like you got to really get your craft down well to be able to present it and perform it successfully. And that's kind of my first lesson to the kids is don't do it until you feel like you're ready. Don't just pull a deck out and then say, I'm sorry, let me do that again, kind of thing. You got to be ready. That's kind of my rule of thumb. But whether they follow it or not is up to them.
Yeah, there's a lot of life skills, like I said, when you're preparing and mentally and psychologically,
Yeah.
being in front of a crowd and being able to be on stage and just that pressure that comes from that, but helping kids develop that confidence we talk about.
Yeah.
Confidence is so key for anything you're going to have success within life. What, this is your own business, tell me though, what is a hurdle or a challenge you've overcome that help you become stronger? That you, as a magician, there's a lot of things I can imagine that can go wrong.
Yeah.
What was it like first couple times you had something that didn't go right? Give me a challenge that help you grow, become stronger.
Yeah, I think the biggest challenge for me is the designing a set, actually creating and designing something that I can kind of personalize, but that also becomes more professional and people don't see what's going on. So when I talked about like opening the handkerchief and something comes flying out, you know, that's your pit goes, or your stomach goes to the bottom, or your stomach drops because you're like, that's the whole trick, and it's just got revealed. And so the practice is one thing. The other big challenge or big hurdle has just been time management, making sure that I get all my things done, right? And I'm pretty intent on making sure that I'm back within 24 hours for potential clients, that I follow up after a show. I usually write a handwritten note to them. That's that business side that has been a challenge only from like time management points. I don't have someone being able to kind of necessarily take my calls for me. I have amazing help from my partner and girlfriend, Alioska Diaz. She and I have been together, and she comes and she films and she takes pictures and she manages music for bigger shows, which is awesome. But there's a lot of things that also just kind of like have to be handled. You know, I know my prices, I know what my clients are wanting and how to engage with them. So.
Yeah, it's a business, and ultimately you've got to perform and get the product that people appreciate and enjoy.
Yeah, and shoulder a lot of that as well.
Yeah,
Yeah.
So you're managing it from all sides. Somebody with the expertise that you have there. Well, I appreciate you sharing some of your background there. We've got a little more charity stuff we did on the community here. Will, who will be inspired. He does a lot of great stuff to make a difference on our little planet and helping those going through PTSD. Did I say that right? But a little bit about what his challenge and how he's helping people to overcome. So stay tuned here. We'll be back in just a minute. Will Bates, everybody. Will be inspired. Tell me about the event you got going on here.
Oh, we got a golf tournament today. Got some people coming out to support our military veterans and first responders. Everything that we raise today goes towards benefiting them, mental and physical health, overall wellness, wellness retreats, outdoor retreats, gym memberships. You think of it, you name it. That's what we do. So this is all to benefit them. I appreciate everybody coming out and taking action. Thank you.
We're at Old Hickory Golf Course. Been here for a number of events. Great crowd here.
Yeah.
How many people turn out for this thing so far?
There'll be at least 170 people here.
170 golfers, everybody. All right, if they need the Cardinal Cowboy to give out some free golf lessons, I might be doing that later. Don't wait for that. Don't wait for that.
Yeah,
It's
I
not worth it.
appreciate you.
All right, man. Thank you.
All right, thank you.
Giddy up. We'll see you guys. Giddy up.
His name is Carter Rethwich, but in St. Louis, he's known as the Cardinal Cowboy. He's a well-known fixture in the stands at sporting events in the Gateway City. He's one of its greatest cheerleaders, a super fan like no other. When he makes his rounds at almost every home game, he shares his love for sports with the rest of fandom with a smile, a cheer, some positive encouragement, and lots of selfies and pics. But the Cardinal Cowboy was born of a tragic incident. Rethwich was an aspiring athlete in high school and college. He dreamed of playing in the big leagues, but those dreams ended when he and 3 of his college friends were hit with a devastating crash by a 5-time drunk driver. One of his best friends died. Carter suffered a critical head injury. The trauma put him in a coma for 6 days. The doctors said he was never expected to function again. Those expectations never came true. He fought back and finished college. He was determined to prove the doctors wrong. Among other inspirations, it was his love of baseball that kept him going. And from his near-death experience, the Cardinal Cowboy emerged. His goal in life became to inspire others with positivity despite the odds, to help people believe in themselves and achieve their dreams.
So after my coma, I realized that it was up to me if I was going to accomplish my goals, if I was going to reach my dreams. Despite what the naysayers would say, the people that were discouraging me, like they do everyone. It's up to me if I'm going to make it. Don't listen to the naysayers. It's up to you. You decide whether you're going to succeed, whether you're going to reach your goals. Dream, and then always, always chase your dreams. Never give up. Giddy up. Hey, we're looking for the small business owners and leaders in our community to be on our show. This is the Your Little Castle Show. We air 3 times a week, every week on ABC, and we would like to put somebody you know, or maybe it's you, who's a business owner to be on our show. You'll sit right here in our guest chair, right here, sitting here talking to us. We're going to put on the wall your website and everything about you, and highlight you as a leader. Fill out the form you see here on our website. It's bigleagues.com, and if you go to bigleagues.com, fill out this form. It takes just a couple seconds, and you can even schedule yourself right here. Schedule yourself to be on the show, and there is no charge for us to record you. There's no charge to be in the studio. Check it out if you would like to be on. Fill out the form again, bigleagues.com. This is where we can turn any interview into a series of clips. Check that out. Go to bigleagues.com. So there we go, everybody, and some of the magic that we get to do here with our television cameras. But if you'd like to learn how to magnetize your media, pick up this book. It's a #1 seller on Amazon. Yours truly wrote the introduction. They said, Carter, you wrote supposed to be the foreword. It'd be in the first chapter, really, but 1,800 words. I needed to give him 500, but hey, overachiever, they say, right? But technology impacts the way all of what we do these days. Tell me, let's tell me about how technology has impacted your business and how you deal with social media and all that stuff, and then let's do another little trick.
A little trick. Yeah. So I'm always taking text messages, calls, putting things on social media. One of the biggest things that I've been using has been CapCut. I don't know if you're familiar with CapCut.
I'm familiar with it.
That's been huge for taking clips, taking pictures, and just starting to kind of organize them and build that brand a little bit for Barker Magic. That's a huge piece of the technology. My booking forms are jot form, and I probably could find anything else and be happy with it, but I've learned the in and outs of the jot form. And then website, it's does it look right? Does it read right? Do I need to update the pictures, video, add extra things in there? So I have a great person who helps me with my website. They do an amazing job. A lot of that technical side I leave to them, but I obviously give my input and stuff at the same time. So it's a whole mix of tech and then, like I said, a handwritten note at the end of every gig, I think also just makes that connection feel even more real. And that's a big piece of it as well.
Yeah, well, technology, I can imagine, could be incorporated with a lot of what you do. You do a lot with card tricks. You've got another trick for us here you want to share? You missed the first show, everybody. Check out the first trick. I was blown away. I'm like, I can usually track and say, oh, I say you did that. I didn't have any idea I did that. I got my ta-da card. I swear I didn't sign this.
Yeah. You did. I mean, it's got your signature.
It's got my signature on it. The one I signed was red, but I don't know what. I was not paying attention or something.
This is a great segue, actually, Carter. I'm going to have you do something. Can you see? Go ahead. I got my, I'll see if I can hold it up. I got my stopwatch open here.
Okay.
Do me a favor. Hit start on that stopwatch.
All right.
If you can see it.
Hit start. Okay.
So you can see the numbers are going by real fast. You know how many cards on a deck of cards?
52 on the deck.
52 in a deck, minus jokers. But 54. But if you take out the jokers, it's 52. That's exactly right. We're gonna play a little game.
All right.
The milliseconds, they're going by real fast.
Yeah.
You hit stop when you want, but the number has to be lower than 52 because we don't want to be here all day.
Okay. So hit stop.
Yep. If you can see it, it's right there.
Okay.
73 is higher. Go ahead and hit start again.
Start, and we'll stop one more time. 12.
12.
Okay.
I haven't touched this deck, right?
No.
I'm going to count. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. That's 11. That's number 12 right there.
Uh-huh.
You feel a connection with any card in particular? Maybe not. Right?
I don't know. I guess.
Well, you stopped anywhere you wanted. Turn that card over.
Okay.
That seem familiar? Do you mind? Because we had a ta-da card.
What is going on? I just looked at it. It didn't say that. How did this?
And there you go.
Ta-da.
Ta-da! You got a connection with that card. This is your magic card now, Carter. That is your thing.
Here's our.
You're gonna remember the 6 of hearts.
Holy cow! All right, yeah, I'm blown away. Magic. This is why we have experts come in and show us, blow us away with excitement and magic. Well, tell me the process here. I can only imagine by now we've got a lot of people that are saying, how can we hire Chris to come in and entertain for our event? What's the process there? I'm going to put up on the wall. We've got. I'll go to the wide, but you've got a great looking website you talked about there, and well configured. But if you click on Let's Talk.
Yep. Let's Talk takes them to a form, and that form, it's real simple. Fill out full name, put your email, put your phone number. Ignore promo codes. Sometimes I do run promos. Right now, I don't have any promo codes coming up, but the message, they just tell me kind of what event they have in mind. And some people send things, the more detailed, the better. Some people send something as simple as, I'm having a party and I think magic would be fun. What do you think? And that's the thing that's actually the challenge for me, is how to make sure that they know that magic could be a good addition to their party, and how to help them make sure that that happens. Because that's, again, going back to Connect Through Magic, I want it to be accessible to everyone, that I can get it accessible to. So
I think as you scroll down, you've got that option available. There we go. Learn more.
So that's for the camps that are coming up, and then I also have the Magic at the Link is my classes that are in the Link Auditorium in Central West End. But it's the same Let's Talk button. If you go to the Magic at the Link,
I'll put that up.
They can learn more about the courses that are coming up this January. It makes for a great holiday gift. Any last minute shoppers, of course, can get on there and get this. Really, it's a beginner course, but professional level beginner course Magic. And I've got adult and youth classes that I'm offering at the Link. Same thing, you click register now. There's the adult registration form. And important thing to point out, prerequisites, none. You don't have to have ever handled a deck of cards in your life, but you're gonna learn to look like a pro right in front of everyone.
Oh, that's an incredible value, yeah, to get that kind of training from an expert who's been doing this for 20 plus years.
Right.
For $300 total. Wow, that's amazing. Okay. What is the biggest question people have when they call you? Say, we want to have you, but is it always about price? They want to know what's the cost, and typically is there a range, or how does that work for you?
It is usually about price. It's usually about cost. Of course, a big corporate event is going to be a little bit different than a small private party. I try to make my private parties, like I said, more accessible. Sometimes it's just 12 people sitting having dinner and they want to see some magic. But the price usually comes up, and I work closely with my clients, so I say, well, you can always reduce, we can always reduce time. I have to respect my prices, but I want to make sure that magic is a part of it. So if someone wants to book me and they think that I'm going to be there for 4 hours doing tricks, that's fine. We can talk about that, but that price is going to be significantly more than a 30-minute show. And I have to say, I usually promote the 30-minute show because it's just the right dose of magic. You have someone come in, you're not staring at them wondering like, well, are they going to keep doing, what are they going to keep doing? So I come in, I do a show right there, like I said, in the living room, basement, wherever you want, kitchen. Put me in a corner and have some fun entertainment. But yeah, price usually is the question, and time can always be adjusted there.
Yeah, so you can make that fit to somebody's budget accordingly.
Exactly.
It's a good half-hour show from somebody.
Yeah.
If I had to do comedy for a half an hour, I would be crumbling on the ground. That's a lot of time to talk. I've got a whole story to talk about why we exist on this little planet. But very exciting. What truly gives you the most satisfaction of this at the end of the day? What do you love most about what you're doing here?
What I love the most is, if I had to speak from a selfish standpoint, it is that I just continually am learning something new. I haven't really talked much. I talked about connecting with my customers and my clients. I connect with other magicians. So I have connections. When I was traveling in Spain, I used to study in Spain. But when I was traveling in Spain a couple summers ago, I met a lot of magicians who gave me, they welcomed me with open arms, and we hit it off. They've invited me back to perform in Spain in festivals, because I do perform also completely in Spanish, so I can perform both shows in Spanish and English. But when they invited me back, I actually invited one of them here to St. Louis, so I brought Spanish magic to St. Louis and had someone performing. That's the piece that kind of keeps me going, is who am I going to meet next, what am I going to learn next, and how am I going to bring something new into my set, into my show, and give people a brand new experience.
So so is this something that's constantly evolving? You're constantly learning new tricks, or amending the ones you've got, or updating with new parts of your presentation and a little bit more excitement. Is this an ongoing?
It is, and I've actually designed. I have three tricks that I've created myself. And so I'm continually tweaking those tricks. I perform them, but it's like, how do you, because it's not just, there are some magicians who just perform, Penn and Teller, right? Teller doesn't talk.
Right.
I do talk, and some of my tricks I don't talk. So it's how do I find that middle ground? But I'm always thinking about what am I going to say and how am I going to say it, and bring a little bit of the modern age into magic as well. Make sure that people are enjoying it and seeing, like I said, something different, but not, me, could I please borrow a handkerchief from someone? I mean, there's still a little bit of that, but it's kind of more like, how do you just have them immerse themselves into the magic experience and have the most fun that they can have? Like I said, magic is fun. At the end of the day, it is fun. It's like you go to a dance and someone's sitting in the corner not wanting to dance. I don't know how those people, I get it if you don't like dancing, and I get it if you don't like magic, but if you hire me to do magic, I hope you have fun. That's what I want you to have, is a lot of fun.
How much of this is for you to read the crowd, and then do you change your routine, or do you have specifically more engaging tricks sometimes that you'll pull out of your hat if you want to?
Yeah, after doing this for hundreds, if not thousands of people, I think the one that I've learned is the skeptic loves gambling routines. So the person who sits back, because usually the skeptic is older and kind of is just like, maybe they had a bad experience with a clown at a birthday party. It was like, I'm half clown, half magician, and whatever. So getting to pull out a deck of cards and then do some really amazing things right in their hand. And one of my favorite things, I had a gentleman who was not too into the magic, and I did something and he just cracked a smile, and I was like, I got him. And then I can start to open up and ask questions. Hey, like, had you seen magic before? One couple was really nice. They didn't want to see any magic, but they just wanted to talk to me. Because the first thing I said, hey, where are you all coming from? What are you doing here in St. Louis? Because they weren't from St. Louis. And they were like, we don't want to see magic, but can we just talk to you for a few minutes? And I was like, absolutely. So there's that personal side as well. That's fun.
Yeah, there's so much about the art of communication and how you break down the walls for people that might be
Right.
still standoffish and may not understand what the real message is there, but you want to engage everybody and just it's a form of entertainment, right?
That's what it is. Yep.
Help people to enjoy our little time on this planet. How do you feel as you contribute to the community most?
So training people to do magic is a big deal to me. Teaching magic is kind of the one thing that I find the most kind of community building, so to speak. I've also donated my time to different organizations. I've given, like, for auctions, give out my services. I offer a 45-minute show to different auctions around St. Louis, organizations that I either connect with or help out and support as well. And I've done fundraisers as well, fundraising magic shows and things like that. So just making sure that magic, again, it brings people together and that there's like a good positive purpose to it. Whether it's entertainment, that's one side, but there can also be something even more positive done on the back end.
Yeah, and how often when you're working with, especially with the training for teaching people magic, helping a kid to come out of his shell, somebody that hasn't that previously, they were having trouble getting that kid to engage, you're able to help to bring that out for some people.
Yeah, that's for me. Being a teacher, that's the thing. We have a lot of kids who sometimes you just go home and you bang your head against the wall because of their behavior or whatever they're like. But it's that one kid who shakes your hand, gives you a hug, says, "You changed my life," and that's all I care about. That means the world.
Check them out. Barker Magic, STL, barkermagic.com. Giddy up.